Coincidentally, we're here to talk about events, physical events, and races. No lies, last name is Rasic. And what are the footwear and apparel needs to accomplish said events? Rob, you look incredible today.
I appreciate it. It's been a rewarding journey, and I'm enjoying it every day.
Yes, and you are proof of that journey for sure. Good afternoon, friends. PC here at Gravity and Oxygen Fitness, and I'm honored today to be with one of our Gravity and Oxygen rock stars, Rob Rasic. How are you, bud?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good. Coincidentally, we're here to talk about events, physical events, and races. No lies, last name is Rasic. And what are the footwear and apparel needs to accomplish said events? Rob, you look incredible today.
I appreciate it. It's been a rewarding journey, and I'm enjoying it every day.
Yes, and you are proof of that journey for sure. So we're going to go over some basics. Perhaps you might be running a 5K. Maybe you're doing a triathlon. Perhaps you're doing Spartan race. Maybe you're doing a CrossFit event. We have coming up this weekend a DEKA-FIT Tri-fecta going on in West Palm Beach, where there's 3 different lengths involving a circuit of functional exercises mixed in with some running. So we know that we have to be prepared as staff and membership to accomplish the event. So we're going to talk first about footwear basics for whatever you choose to accomplish physically. Rob, tell me about the variety of what we have shoe-wise and why footwear is so important when you're doing something physical.
Obviously, the feet are the only contact with the ground from the body. So it's really important that you choose the right one. And obviously, for the duration, even more so. And obviously, for the intensity. So if we're looking at a DEKA-FIT event, we're probably looking at something that has a pretty strong support at the bottom. Nano Reebok is probably an example, or perhaps Nike.
The Metcon?
Metcon, correct.
Right. A cross-training shoe that involves running, but also the need for lifting things, correct?
Exactly. So basically, this shoe will is the combination for both. So I think it's a good option. Obviously, there are others, but definitely look into those two. If you're doing more of running, but less, obviously, weightlifting, it would be...
Yep. This might be good.
Okay. Obviously, if there are trail or rocks involved, you don't want to go something that's too thin in the sole, because in a race it can happen that obviously the entire part of the sole can come off.
Yeah, speaking from personal experience, as I just completed Spartan race 2 weeks ago, during the first mile, during one of the water trenches, the actual soles of my New Balance minimums, they actually came off completely. So I ran a majority of the race barefoot with only padding remaining left in the shoes, no soles. So I've now learned the importance of footwear for sure. So something that's more running based, like you said, flexible in the forefoot, correct? Which allows for that terrain, or allows for you to accomplish running, but enough support where you don't get hurt by the different textures you might be touching, such as grass, rock, gravel.
If you're doing a Spartan race, where most likely you'll be crossing water, it's very wise to have a shoe that can leak the water out.
Drainage.
Drainage, exactly. This way you're not carrying all that weight in a shoe while you're running, which will slow you down and which will hurt your performance.
Absolutely. Now, someone who might be more cross-training involved, where there could be some rope climbing involved, there could be some other things. Once again, if you notice the perforations here of this shoe, this is another version of the Reebok Nano. It's just an older version. It has these actual teeth here, which allows you to clench onto something rope-based, or when you have to climb any apparatus, for sure. So I'm a big fan of these as well. To touch back on what you had here with your newer Reebok Nano X's, firm in the heel, in the anatomy of it, and then once again, still allowing for flex foot if you're doing some running intervals. So for something such as DEKA-FIT this weekend, this could be an ideal shoe. So, like you said, in review about footwear, you mentioned it is the surface you might be running on. It's going to be the duration of that race, and then also the intensity at which you're running. So that's a big part in your footwear. Let's transition to apparel now. So you have your streamlined, super aerodynamic outfit on. You have your triathlon shirt bib, and you have your compression shorts.
Yes.
Talk more about apparel.
Yes, for activity that will involve more disciplines like triathlon, you don't want to waste time to be changing into different pieces of clothing. So you just put this on, and you're ready for all 3 things: for swimming, cycling, and running. It gives you a nice hugging feeling, and It looks cool too, right?
You
Feels
look
good.
you look super cool. But beyond like the idea of wind drag from wearing something baggy, talk about the actual physiological benefits of compressive wear.
Yes, basically, we're looking for oxygenation and more blood coming back up to the heart.
Right.
Therefore, increased recovery and less muscle vibration as you're doing the activity.
I believe that's a huge point. The vibration is that
Yes.
if we have dense muscle, and every time you impact or land, that muscle is shaking. Well, then it has to recover from that shake to get back to stable to then produce your next step in the gait. Correct. So if we can reduce vibration of the muscle, then it's completely tunnel vision towards its focus of performance.
There's a lot less damage, and you will feel less fatigue during the activity, and therefore you will be less beat up after a race. Therefore, decreased recovery time.
Absolutely. So you're wearing compressive socks as well, besides the compressive shorts?
That's correct.
Exactly.
You can also wear a version where you just have sleeves, where you don't have the bottom part. Which in triathlon you will probably want to wear that, so you don't waste time putting on compression socks in the transition area.
Now it's important to note that compression can come in different levels or intensity. So based upon your personal anatomy, perhaps you have more profound calf muscles or thinner, it is important to research and figure out what is the direct level or the best level of compression for you personally. And there are sites and ways you can find that out.
Totally.
Absolutely. We also have compressive arm wear here.
Yes. So obviously this one has a SPF in it, so it will protect you from the sun. And this one will actually keep you cool. This is not much compression in here, just enough hugging sensation, but it will keep your body temperature down. I remember going to a seminar with the triathletes, and I spoke to a former professional triathlete, and his performance was suffering. He couldn't figure out why on his last leg in the marathon he was crashing. Basically, his performance was going down. So he hired a scientist to figure out what was the cause of this. So it came up that his body temperature was getting too high, and obviously in Hawaii, the sun and just the duration of the race was really getting him. So this was the game changer to keep the body temperature down. This will protect you from the sun, keep you cooler. This way you can keep racing. You can finish your race in a good time.
Shielded the skin from the sun, and then it regulated body temperature and is able to perform and excel.
Exactly.
There you go. Speaking of sun,
yes, mistake I have made in the Spartan race. I thought, should I take a cap? No, I'll be okay. So I did get sunburn, and also I was getting pretty hot out in the sun. So something that's really thin and mesh that will keep you cool is definitely the way to go.
right? Perhaps you have an exposed scalp line, maybe a man having some receding hair. Understand that your scalp, which is skin as well, is getting direct contact, not at an angle, but zero angle from the sun. So protecting that is essential. Absolutely. And you also, of course, goes without saying, some kind of strong SPF factor as well. So we've talked about compression, apparel, footwear. How about some of the miscellaneous intangibles, such as gloves? You're doing a Spartan race, you might carry stones, you might be grabbing wet rope, you might be throwing a javelin. So no doubt we're going to get dirty and messy. So what's the best way to maintain your grip? So as you can see, Rob has a pair of construction gloves here, all right, which can handle all grips and terrains. Last thing you want to do is worry about slipping that 100-pound stone on your toes.
So this was a game changer for me. I knew I was going to need something in a Spartan race, and I used it throughout the entire race. Because as you go through the race and you fatigue a little bit more, the increased grip really will help out. I'm sure you'll definitely try it. Let me know how it felt.
Yep. Even something as simple as rowing. So I know for sure when I row, and I'm doing an extended row, 10, 20 minutes, the last thing I want to worry about is grip fatigue. So if I can ease 10% of my grip strength or need based on having gloves for better traction on that handle, I'll do it for sure. So let's talk about other metrics as well. I know a lot of people who do races, they're overall fitness fanatics, and they like to record or document their performance.
Yes.
So as you say, I have a Garmin watch here. You have a nice watch on. We also have a heart rate monitor. So there's no doubt that if you want to be able to track your performance, we have devices such as this. Talk about the MyZone.
Yes. Basically, you will be able to record your performance and see where you held back, where you need to push harder, and basically learn the rep for the next race or for your next performance.
Absolutely. The MyZone just came out with variety, versatility. It's called the MyZone Switch, where it enables you, even if you choose something as swimming, I can now wear this in the water. All right. I can go ahead and apply this, and now by simple push of a button here, all right. Okay, I have it set. I can hit the button. And now, while I'm in the water, swimming, running, I can now track my overall heart rate, something that we really couldn't do. We can only measure what's on land. Now by land, air, and sea, I feel much more complete with my ability to measure that. And then the Garmin can also track your number of steps, perhaps during your run, pedometer, but also the odometer and the distance in which you completed. All right, so I think these are great metrics for all those information hounds out there who do any kind of outdoor activity for sure.
Another thing I would add is for cyclists or people who are participating in triathlons, the importance of having a cream for your shorts. Because you spend a lot of time in the saddle.
The chafing, right? The chafing.
Exactly, and the friction, the heat, it's something really to protect the sensitive area.
Absolutely.
It's a game changer. So before you cycle, you turn your shorts inside out, put it on, you'll have a much better performance.
Absolutely. So thinking about the cerebral aspect of your performance, consider your footwear first and foremost. What's happening from the ground up? We're always contacting the ground no matter what your performance is. Think about your apparel that will make you A, comfortable, and B, maximize your performance. All right. Think about your limb, your accessories, okay, your appendages for some kind of compressive footwear as well. Consider your head and your skin when it comes to hat or sunblock. And then think about the metrics that you might want for your performance and also any extemporaneous things such as cream or gloves. Hopefully you guys found this information important about performance apparel and footwear. Be on the lookout for further episodes of Turf Talk Tuesday. I know next week we're going to talk about recovery, as we will all need some recovery from the DEKA-FIT Tri-fecta this weekend. On behalf of everyone here at Drive in Action, we appreciate your viewership, and like we usually say, good energy always wins. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching. Good luck.